Hey guys, welcome to the Greek Chorus, a podcast hosted by two actor friends from New York who met in college and moved to LA.
Where now we're yapping about how we're using our degrees and charm to navigate this amazing new city. I'm Issa Providence.
And I'm Jordan Tate Burrows.
And we are the Greek Chorus.
Soundstripe.
Let's start.
All right. Hey.
Hey.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
How are you feeling about everything happening in the world?
Well, damn it. Are we allowed to curse? It's our podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Screw it. I was really, shocked, confused. This is my baby's first fire.
Yep.
Baby's first fire. I
Yep.
had no idea what to do. My Southern California mom was like, "That's fine," and then my dad was finding escape routes that weren't on the highways, so it was very weird and confusing. How are you?
Doing good. Luckily, I haven't had to evacuate, so that's
Yeah,
nice.
huge.
But it's been scary. It's weird. The East Coast doesn't have stuff
No,
like this.
we have ice storms,
Yeah, but that's not like
a firestorm.
life-threatening.
Yeah.
And all of my thoughts go out to everyone that have actually lost stuff and had to evacuate. That's really scary, and I feel like right now the only thing we can do is
Be there.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's a weird survivor's guilt thing to be like, I haven't had to evacuate,
Absolutely.
and people are still checking in on me,
Mhm.
and I'm like, no, I'm safe in my
fine.
house. There
I'm
are
not
people
someone
that
to check on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But hopefully, the city has done.
It's already bouncing back.
Yeah,
It's huge.
people donation centers and volunteer centers have turned people away because they have too many people, which is the best problem to have. But kind of all we can do is try to make people laugh.
Yeah. No.
At the
Really,
moment.
that's kind of what you have to do. Is it's so literally the sky is dark,
Yeah.
and so making light out of something is better than sort of sitting in it. I don't know.
And also the industry is pretty dark right now too, so we got nothing
We got
better to do.
Nothing better to do.
Um
This actually, not to okay, there's a lot of sympathy that I have for, obviously, because I'm a human fucking being
Yeah.
with a brain, for everyone who lost their homes. But did I ever tell you that I was displaced from my home after Irene?
Oh, really?
Yeah, my 4-story tree fell on my house
Oh my god.
and crushed it when I was 10. So I had to move out for a year, obviously. And it's just so confusing and shocking and traumatic, and
Yeah.
I'm texting all my friends in Pasadena right now because I'm please let me know if you need anything. 'Cause
Yeah.
I actually kind of get it.
Yeah, well, growing up in the East Coast and when I was little, I lived in Connecticut, and all these hurricanes would come through, and we wouldn't have power for weeks.
Yeah. Do you remember Sandy?
Yes,
Yeah.
I didn't. My public school had to be delayed summer a week because we had used all of
Yeah.
our snow days on Sandy, and then when we had snow days, we were going past it. We had school until the end of June that year. It was crazy.
It was nuts. We didn't have a spring break
Yeah.
because we used all of our snow days.
Yeah, it was
Which is
wild.
actually nuts.
Yeah. Anyways, getting into our
Actual part of the podcast.
we got a couple things to go over today. We're gonna go over some of the Golden Globesies and our goals for the year, and a couple of
Hot takes. Issa, I have a question for you though.
Yeah.
What are you the goddess of today?
Joe, I'm so glad you asked.
Yes.
Today I am the goddess of girl bossing it up. We're doing the podcast. Later today, we're having a photo shoot for the
Heck yeah, we
podcast,
are.
and then I'm going and filming a scene,
I know, that's huge.
which I'm really excited about, with a celeb, if you will. So I'm very excited about that. What are you the goddess of today, Miss Jordan Tate Burrows?
Well, I am I put down that I was the goddess of being intentional with my hair this year.
Okay.
I
For the year or just today?
today, but like I was thinking about it a lot today because I was diffusing for about 45 minutes. Right. So
can't relate, but
please. But no, I kind of realized like I love straightening my hair. I think I look cute as hell when I straighten my hair.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's a slippery slope because then I start to I can start. My brain is glitching.
We're only a couple minutes in.
To like think that I'm more attractive when I have straight hair versus when I have curly hair.
I love your hair texture.
Thank you.
I'm like very jealous because everybody else in my family has curly hair.
Your mom has really curly hair.
Yeah, and I'm like, where is that gene for me? I'm so confused. I have like the weird thing where like just a 2-inch patch of the back of my hair gets like at the slightly it gets slightly wavy, and I think part of it is I use so much skincare that like especially the pieces next to my face are just like riddled in oil all the time. But I'm not gonna get rid of my skincare, so my hair will stay straight forever.
My skin is sticky right now from the skincare.
Oh, literally me too. Like I put so many products on this morning.
No one can see us, so we're like touching our cheeks right now. Yeah. So funny.
Anyways, but do you want to go over our Golden Globesies?
Yeah.
My first note is it was nicely diverse.
Yes.
Like I was very happy. And obviously there can always be more diversity, but I think Shogun swept away.
Yes. The AAPI representation at the Golden Globes was awesome.
Yeah, and Amelia Perez, as much as people have their qualms with it, it was a really diverse cast. Mm-hmm. And it won a lot of stuff and got a lot of representation, and I was really excited about that.
Yeah, and the fact that a trans woman was at the helm of it, huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
How many did you get right again? We filled out ballots.
We watched it together.
Yeah, we watched it together.
Ballots.
I think I got like 6. Wait, hold on. Let me check.
Yeah, how many did you get right?
1, 2, 3, 4.
1. We're counting.
5, 6. Yeah, 6.
2.
I got 6 correct.
I think I got 9.
Yeah.
That sounds right. But what were some shocking ones for you?
No offense to Sebastian Stan. I was shocked.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
So that changes. There's a lot of stuff that I think I want to watch now. Like, I am so bad about subtitles. I just like my brain.
We were talking about this.
Yeah, like as an actor.
Did you see Amelia Perez?
No.
I'm exposing Issa right now.
I really haven't seen a lot of the stuff.
That's okay.
But as an actor, I want to watch them act, and my brain can't read quick enough and watch them act at the same time. And I need to get better at that because I really want to watch Shogun.
Yeah.
And I haven't. But I need to get better at that. What else shocked me? What shocked you?
I think A Real Pain should have not necessarily won. I think everyone who won the categories was deserving to win. But I think it was just such a brilliant take on pain and what does it mean to feel versus be in pain and like have generational pain and what that means. And I think it was brilliantly acted. I love Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin. I think they're brilliant actors and creatives, and that was just cool to see. And it was very like truthful to how I interact with my cousins and like my Jewish family. And I thought it was really good. So
well, it's interesting. And I had this to talk about too of like things being categorized where they're categorized.
Yes.
And we talked a little bit about that when we were watching it, of like...
But let's chat.
Yeah. Amelia Perez being nominated for both Best Picture, Musical, or Comedy and Non-English Language feels a little bit like they were taking over. I mean, it's awesome that they get to be in both categories, but then because they won both categories, it took away from all of these other films. Also, like, why is the Bear...
Wicked win? Oh, why is the Bear...
Why is the Bear musical comedy TV? So confused.
That's so funny.
Like, it makes no sense.
I 100% agree. I think The Bear is a fantastic show.
Yeah.
But it is not a comedy. There are comedic moments because I fully believe that you can't have comedy or drama without the other.
Oh, totally.
But you can be categorized incorrectly.
Yeah. And I think part of it is just like, we were saying this too, of like, they stand a better chance in the musical or comedy.
Yeah.
Because
it's dramatic. And
but I'm like, there are other things in that category.
Have you seen Shrinking yet?
No.
It is so good. That's a shocker that it didn't win enough.
Well, what was it?
Jason Segel was nominated. Harrison Ford.
Yes. I mean, The Bear didn't win musical or comedy.
No. What one again?
Hacks.
That's a great show too.
Which apparently one of the main buildings in it burnt down.
I saw.
Which is really sad.
It's so cute. It was such a cute building too.
Yeah, but then Jeremy Allen White won Best Actor in musical comedy.
Great, and deserves awards for his acting in The Bear.
But he's already been so
he's
recognized.
Won like 6 times.
Yeah, and he wasn't even there.
I'm
like, come on, he's not even there, and he shouldn't really be in that category.
Oh wait, I was thinking about the photos like that they show of the nominees when they announce their names, but like, who was it where they showed like a random French? No, it was the main actor in Shogun that they showed instead of the Frenchman.
Oh yeah, and he was like confused. He was like,
they all were confused.
I'm not supposed to be on right now.
He's like, wrong name.
Yeah, this is not me actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the awards are such an interesting and like arbitrary thing.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that's the interesting thing about watching the difference between them, is that the Golden Globes are voted on by the foreign press. So obviously the things that are more interesting and not as box office-y are going to have more airtime, which is great. And then you see how they perform in the SAG Awards or the Oscars or the TV shows and the Emmys. You know, it's all so different because there's different people voting on it.
Yeah.
You know,
speaking of voting, I think it's really interesting to talk about the idea of like, if you win one, you're not going to win another award.
Yes. Yeah.
Because there's this whole like Hollywood taboo subject where it's like, oh, if they win this award, they're less likely to win like the Oscars that come up.
Yeah.
And I think that that's going away for the most part, but that's still something that I get worried about, just because I see so many women of color and LGBTQ actors who are so good and deserve all of the awards.
Right.
And I just get worried because the voting, I mean, I don't know who are voters, but like, I can only assume when you're wealthy and you get chosen to be a voter, a lot of the time it's who you know and generational wealth.
Right.
Which is a category that white men occupy.
White men
comes down.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting to watch after the Golden Globes who is campaigning a lot. Like Timothee Chalamet, I love you. I think you are a fantastic actor, and I really liked you in A Complete Unknown. But I don't know if you're qualified to be the musical guest on SNL. Maybe that's a hot take in itself. But like, I don't know.
What?
Did you not see this?
No.
He's hosting and he's being the musical guest on SNL.
Fuck up.
And I'm like, if one biopic qualifies you for that.
He's such a LaGuardia kid.
I know. I'm like only like a New York City kid, nepo baby.
Yeah. We're talking about a performing arts high school. If you've seen the movie Fame, that's LaGuardia.
Yeah. And so many famous people.
Timothee Chalamet went to LaGuardia.
Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj went to LaGuardia. A lot of famous people, but
yeah.
I think it's part of his Oscar campaign. Really.
Absolutely. Oh, for sure.
Because I'm like, I wonder who was like, I definitely think that his team pitched that.
Oh,
and SNL wasn't like, let's get you up here to do a Bob Dylan. Like, Lorne Michaels wasn't like.
Lorne Michaels, I think, just finds it funny. He's so successful, like, he does not care.
I just want him to go up there and just be Bob Dylan.
I hope so.
Like, I hope he just goes back into the character. He's not like, I'm still Timothee Chalamet. I'm like, hunch your back a little, wear a leather jacket, and
scruff up your hair.
Yeah.
Make it a mullet again. Yeah. Like, we need Bob Dylan.
But it should be interesting. I mean, Bob Dylan would never do that.
No.
So.
No, literally. I did not know that. That is so funny.
Yeah. It's at the end of January, I think.
Oh, we're having a watch party.
Yeah. I think it's the 28th, if that's a Saturday.
Is it? Oh my god.
Maybe not.
No, it might be on my birthday. My birthday party.
Is it on a Saturday?
Yeah, mine's the 25th.
It may be.
I'm hosting a watch party. We're going to be playing board games and watching Timothee Chalamet.
I mean, I think he's a fantastic actor.
He's fantastic.
A lot of, I mean, I was
he's just not the first person I think of to do a musical guest.
Yeah, and I love, like, Beautiful Boy is one of my favorite movies. I love Call Me By Your Name. I thought he was fantastic in A Complete Unknown. I think he was the best part of that movie. Yeah. And my boyfriend is a huge Bob Dylan fan. He loves folk music. And I think he liked it a lot more than I did because obviously he said me seeing that movie without him was like him seeing Wicked without me.
Right. Sure.
But I think as like an actor, I was like, there's no big conflict. And he's like, you can't add conflict to someone's life. That's not how that works.
Sure.
And I'm like, right. But I was like waiting.
But you can make, yes, I agree with both of you, but I also think the cool thing about movies is that you can make internal conflict cinematic.
Yeah. And I think
I haven't seen it, so.
Well, I think like Bob Dylan's whole lore is that he's really mysterious. He won a Nobel Prize and didn't show up. Like, who else would do that?
I love Bob Dylan. He's so funny to me.
But I mean, it was a beautiful movie. It was really well done. But I do think Timothee is really gearing up to try and win that Oscar.
Do you think he might win it?
It depends who else is in the category. I think who else was?
I want Coleman Domingo to win.
Yes, you've said that. I haven't seen Sing Sing.
Oh my god!
But you thought he was fantastic in it.
And I'll continue to say it. I'll shout it from the rooftop.
I think Adrian Brody is probably really wanting to get the Oscar too.
He might,
but he did win the Golden Globe,
which is what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
that's why I was like, oh, this is
Yeah. Daniel Craig. Is he? Maybe
is he queer?
That's what my question was going to be. Is he queer?
I would love to know that.
Because I'm like, if we're making
think
movies,
he's bi.
Okay.
From what his interview, like, he was joking about like queerness in a way that only a queer person would.
Okay, good.
In his interviews,
because I'm like, I really hope that they cast a queer actor in this movie called Queer.
I mean, Luca Guadagnino's movies are just inherently kind of queer,
right?
All of the time. I mean, is Timothee Chalamet queer? Because he,
I don't know.
Are we outing Timothee Chalamet right now?
I would be surprised. I feel like he'd take more of like
pansexual vibe. Faux show.
That's what I was gonna say. And I say this with love as a straight woman. But
speak on it.
He does give like he's not that chuffed about it.
Yeah, you know.
How do you feel about him and Kylie Jenner?
Honestly, I just think And both of them separately are attractive in their own ways. I think both of them have their own thing going on, and you have to, like, she's a bombshell.
Yeah.
He is,
and I
like,
commend her for, like, not walking the carpet with him and not making it about herself.
Yeah.
But I think listen, I don't know them personally. I just don't know what they talk about.
No, I
want to be a fly on the wall.
They don't talk. That's what I'm pretty sure about.
They just make a lot of eye contact. That's it.
I don't think they do that.
Yeah, visually they don't make sense, but I'm like,
but
listen.
Also, let's just be so for real right now. And I love Ian. If we mention Ian, this is Issa's boyfriend. I love Ian. I adore him. What a great friend. But every single time that a woman or an AFAB person dates a white dude, 10 out of 10 times they are leagues above, like, more attractive than their partner. Leagues! And this is no shade to, like, the white boys that are, like, very respectful and attractive to...
For the record, I think my boyfriend's hot, so...
Sure. Ian's a cutie pie. Oh, for sure! No, it's not that he's not attractive. Like, I feel weird talking about your boyfriend like this, but, like, it's not that he's not. It's just, like, I mean, like, look at you, babe. Like crazy. And I'm sure he'd agree with me.
White men love to grab the prettiest... White men love to. White men love to grab the prettiest girl in the world and hold her real tight. And I've seen a lot of my sorority sisters be subjected to some grimy-looking men.
Grimy, and, like, not the... by themselves. Fine. Okay, people. Clearly they have some sort of attractiveness for these bombshells to go for them. But, like, together, you guys do look good together as a couple.
Thank you.
Of course. Like,
I would hope so.
Is Ian blonde? Ian's blonde-ish.
I would say he's kind of blonde.
He's got darker hair than you, but
yeah,
he's not, like...
See, but then that's also, like, people say I'm not blonde, and I'm like,
whoa,
girl, I'm blonde. I'm not a brunette.
Yeah. It's also, like, part of your identity.
Yeah. I'm blonde, maybe. I always say I'm a dark blonde.
Yes, I would agree with that. You are a dark blonde. Do you ever think that you'd go lighter?
No. I like this color on me. Well, yeah. If
you're paying me,
I'll cut my hair to a bob again.
Oh, God.
Let's not bring back my bob.
Let's not bring back Jordan's Jesus cut from London. Like, why did anyone allow me to do that?
Yeah, I've had some questionable haircuts, but I would do it, for a role. But first of all, coloring your hair is so damn expensive.
Yeah, so expensive. I've never done it, but
I have box dyed my hair plenty of time.
You really?
Oh my God. During COVID, like at the height of COVID, that summer, COVID summer, I think I box dyed my hair 4 different times.
Right.
And then it just,
what
it kind of got, well, I was trying to go lighter, and then I was kind of like a strawberry blonde, and then it got like a little too orange, and then I bleached the strands.
Ginger, sure.
And then this girl that I didn't like bleached her strands, so I was like, never mind. And then right before college started, I was like, I need to go back to like my normal-ish hair color.
Sure.
So then I dyed it kind of like a light brown. I haven't dyed it since.
Okay.
But yeah, I've also tried to go dark brown before. That only lasted like 2 weeks.
Sure. It's hard to pull off.
Yeah.
As someone who barely pulls it off most days. Like, it's a thing.
Yeah, but for a role, I totally would do anything.
Yeah. I literally anything. What? No, I digress. That is what I think of Timothee and Kylie. It's just, what? I mean, I hope they're happy. I really hope they're happy. I hope you're happy. Eyelash. I hope you're happy.
I hope you're happy now.
Oh, God.
Theater
Kids coming out.
Yeah, I really wonder. I really wanted Pamela Anderson to win.
Yes.
I did.
I agree with that.
But I wonder if she's gonna go towards the Oscar.
I think she is.
I do too.
And I think she could win it.
Yeah.
I hope she does.
I think people are really rooting for her the way that people were rooting for Demi Moore.
Yes.
I think it's an actress. I don't love the word actress. An actor in Hollywood that hasn't gotten the recognition that they deserve.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I was
shocked
that Demi Moore had never won anything before. What?
I know.
Like actually that's one of those actors that I would have been like, oh yeah, she has like 3 Emmys and an Oscar.
Like she's amazing.
Yeah.
But wow, I was shocked.
Yeah.
But good for her.
I know. Like
I've seen clips of The Substance. I can't watch it.
Have you seen the video of her family being really excited?
Yes.
Oh, it was so
cute. It was so cute. Our families.
Yeah.
Manifesting.
That will be us one day. I'm manifesting that this podcast gets so big that we get invited to the Wicked Part 2 premiere. That is my goal.
Actually, no.
That's not even in my top 5 goals. Scratching out one of them, get invited to the Wicked for Good premiere.
Okay, but we'd have to figure out like who's wearing what. Like one of us is going as Glinda, one of us is going as Alpha.
True. I think in our dynamic, I'm more of the Glinda.
Oh, interesting.
But it's funny because in like my best friend, shout out Sophia.
Hey.
In Sophia and I's dynamic, we always say that I'm the green to her pink, like not even in a Wicked way, but I am the green to her pink.
I think it's like based on dynamics because my best friend Jazz, hey Jazz, she's absolutely the Alphaba and I'm the Glinda.
Yeah.
But I would agree. I think that I also like blonde, brunette. Come on.
It kind of just like inherently does like, that. But I love Wicked. Oh my god, I could talk for hours.
That's a shocker that
I just like, as much as I love Wicked,
I don't see it winning the awards.
Yeah, I don't either, which is really sad. I think
the individual actors could win awards.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. What did Jonathan Bailey got nominated for the SAG award for supporting actor, which I was surprised about.
Wasn't that for
no. What was
his oh god, what was it called? It's with
No, he was
for Fierro?
Yeah.
I mean, Jonathan Bailey can do anything. Like,
but I'm like surprised. I feel like he's that big of a role.
That's what shocks me is like
I'm like, there were definitely
his role is much bigger in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's pivotal.
And
There As Long As Your Mind is actually gonna do me in. Oh,
a couple weeks ago, a little side note. A couple weeks ago, I was on set and just having like a weird day because, like, you know, when you're on, when you're doing background. Was it? No, it was for
Oh, sure.
The boat.
Right. Okay. The infamous boat.
But you know how sometimes when you're doing background work, there's days where everybody hangs out and everybody's having a ball, and then there's other days where like nobody talks to each other.
Yeah, and it's usually the days that everyone's hanging out. And like you're not any like mean or anything, but it's the days that you want to go nonverbal.
Yeah, so true. But I was having one of those like nobody was talking to anybody days.
Oh god, those are the longest.
So long. So I was like having a weird day, and it was freezing. It was so windy, and we're like dressed in this like tropical cruise wear, and I was so cold. And I'm like driving home from Santa Clarita, which is like half an hour.
By the way, like for those who don't live in California, California is a desert.
Oh yeah.
Once you are south of San Francisco, it's desert.
Yeah.
And the desert in the evenings and in the winter is very, very cold.
Yeah. And right now we're experiencing a lot of wind. But
clearly.
So I was in the car and I put on like a Broadway playlist to listen to on my way home because obviously. And For Good comes on. I just started sobbing.
No, Valid.
I was like, I miss my friends so much right now. Because like Sophia and I would literally sing that song together, like doing karaoke in our apartment in college.
Is that your like go-to karaoke song?
That is Sophia and I's like song. And I just started like literally hysterically sobbing, like listening to that song. And I was like, oh my god, if Sophia and I don't see this movie together, like I can't see it.
Right.
like we need to see this movie together.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
That song is just so sad.
So good.
Yeah. But I'm sure Ariana and Cynthia are gonna do such a fantastic job. Like their voices meld together so
well because they're powerhouses.
Yeah.
You know?
I really want to see them go back to Broadway. And I think they will.
I think they will. I don't think it's gonna be in these roles.
No. Cynthia has literally said that she doesn't want to.
And I think that's good. Yeah. I also hope that some of like the songs like find their way into the new stage.
Yeah, version. I am curious about the new songs, where they're going to be.
I heard one is a Glinda song.
Interesting.
Yeah, or it could have been an AI faking an Ariana interview, but it was like a podcast where she was like, I can't say much, but it's a song about like a lot of Glinda's Act 2 transformation happens in the wings, and like this figuratively and literally like this bubble being popped of her like her oh gosh, what is it? What is the word? Oh my god. Her privilege. What the fuck? Like, that is not
a hard word,
but like her privilege and sort of reckoning with the fact that like she has to go through this like we're checking to see if the mics are on.
Yeah.
Go through like this
internal
transformation without her best friend.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if I could see that. The fact that like do you ever think about that? Like the fact that we moved and like how crazy that is that we moved.
Yes. I think it hits me the most when people in New York hang out with each other, and I'm like, oh, you guys have other people. Yeah. And now the new seniors at Syracuse, second semester senior year, you can go to New York and do the Tepper semester. I didn't do that.
I did.
Joe did, which we have a whole episode coming about.
We need to talk about the whole like LA debacle with that.
Yeah. And
we were screwed over.
Yeah, but
whatever.
The seniors in the program just moved to New York, and so I'm like, now there's a whole new lot of people there,
which is great. But I think like, and
you go.
Okay, briefly. I mean, we both sort of like touched on this, but as New Yorkers, we kind of knew straight away that we weren't going to be happy in New York.
Yeah.
At least like not at this stage in our lives.
Yeah.
And I love to people from Syracuse. I wish them all the best and all the greatest things. But thank God. It's just like if New York is small. It's gonna like start to be like theater kid central, I feel like. Which it is, but
and I love New York to death. And if this wasn't the profession that I chose, I'd probably be there. Because I love the city and I just know it so well. And like because we haven't been here for that long, LA doesn't feel like home yet in a way that New York does. Because it's like I could get on any subway and know where I'm going.
Yeah. The Stabber. Did you hear about this? Oh yeah, we talked about this.
New York is unsafe, but there is.
I mean, not that LA is safe right now. But like,
it's only safer because you're in your own car. But I think like it's weird that I don't think any of the seniors are coming to LA this year.
Really?
Yeah. That's and last year we only had 2. But it's like you'd think that someone headed out here, and maybe they haven't. I just like haven't heard about it. But I'm like, hello.
I think
also petitioning now to have us go and see people at Sorkin Week.
Oh wait, yeah.
That's happening at some point.
The thing I didn't. Yeah. Whatever.
Rob Zito, if you're listening, let us come. To
let us come.
Ricky Pack.
Ricky Pack. Oh wait, no, you should come. I'm having a meeting with Ricky.
Oh.
He's gonna just like Zoom with me about like pilot season in LA and like how to navigate. Do you want to join?
Yeah. Shout out Ricky.
Shout out Ricky Pack, the our advanced film teacher. But I think like that's the thing is like Syracuse is so known for its theater that it's like it's just starting its film, and Ricky does a great job at it.
Oh yeah.
And so does Tom and Adria, but when you have like, oh, an auditions class, a 1 week seminar on self-tapes, I'm like, well, I've been doing self-tapes for so long. Anyways, this is gonna go on to part of our other episode.
Yeah, if you want to hear more about that, we'll be talking
stay
about
tuned.
it. Yeah.
Do you want to go on to hot topics?
Yeah, let's. My first, and this ties into the Golden Globes. Why did Mikey Madison not have an intimacy coordinator?
Yeah.
On a movie about prostitutes.
And prostitutes, yeah, sex workers.
I saw an interview of someone that, I forget what her role was, and she didn't work on the movie, but she just works in the industry, and she was like, the decision to not have an intimacy coordinator, sure, falls on part of the actor, but it also affects so many other people of like comfortability in costumes or how to film it in a way that's comfortable. Like, it doesn't just affect the actor, it affects the staging of the scene, it affects everything. And I think as someone who has worked with an intimacy coordinator on literally having like a 3-second kiss on stage, and granted, you're doing it on stage every single day in front of audiences of 500 people, and that's different, but I can't imagine not having one, especially in a movie that is kind of about intimate situations.
And I totally agree. Like, I mean, everyone in Anora was great. That's, it's not a drag on them. It's more of just like the importance of stunt and intimacy coordinators because it's so, I mean, you don't think about it until you're in the situation, but things as an actor you don't realize are intimate are very intimate. And can be really like exposing. And this isn't to say like, oh, Jordan is doing like a show about like a sex worker. Not even that. I mean, like, I was in a play called Hello Kitty Syndrome and we had a great intimacy coordinator, but the idea of like queerness and how people interact with each other based on like expectations of like what is okay. And then you realize like, oh, every scene is a little bit intimate. That's like times 10 in film because it's so personal and and like close up. I think that also, by the way, some of the coolest people that you'll ever meet on a set or in rehearsals are stunt and intimacy coordinators.
They're like so chill.
They have lived crazy lives. So like even just to have one on set in case would make it just fun. I don't know.
It's an interesting choice. Also, she's so young. I would understand if you've been in the business for a really long time, you feel like you can intimacy coordinate yourself, you know,
like Pamela Anderson. Sure, but I think she had one for Showgirl. Did she?
I mean, no, I know they were doing their actor on actor together, and she was like, oh, it's the thing nowadays.
Oh, so she might not have.
And Mikey Madison was like, we didn't
opt
to have one, and it is the thing nowadays. Like, my stepmom was an actor, and she was like, this didn't exist when I was doing stuff. She was like, you were just a little frisky back then, like, and you just had to be, because there was nobody like telling you what to do. You just had to be like, okay, I'm gonna go make out with this person.
Right. Was she in like theater or film?
Both.
Right.
I mean,
you can't not. It's like, that's the thing about acting is like, I mean, you can have a focus, but we just want to get hired.
Literally. I'm like, please just hire me.
That'd be great.
But yeah, I think it is an interesting conversation because I don't want it to reverse and for people to be like, oh, well, they didn't have it on this,
so we don't
like nominated. This nominated movie. Now it's not important anymore.
You're so right. That's kind of scary.
Because it depends on the actor too, like, and your comfortability with your scene partner and stuff. Like, every single show before I was doing when I was doing Murder on the Orient Express, like every single night, me and John would check in with each other and make sure that we were doing good and ask each other what we had to eat before the show. And high five. And we were like, okay, now we're on the same page, because we wouldn't see each other for a moment of that before our intimate scene.
Sure.
That like, we were like, okay, we're going to do this at the top of the show. And then we know that we're checked in with each other. And I think it is different, obviously, for movie, because it is like you can cut and talk about it and stuff. And I don't know what exactly went on, but even the director of Call Me by Your Name was like, during the intimate scenes, especially like the one in the attic, he was like, I left. I told them,
fantastic.
Yeah, he was like, I told them what I wanted and I left, because it wasn't a room that I had to be in at that time. It was like I could watch it from somewhere else. I didn't need to be right there, because it was so intimate for Timothee.
I mean, close sets are like 5 people. You have your cinematographer. It's literally just the DP and a sound guy.
Yeah, pretty much only the people that have to be there.
Yeah.
Especially, like, even in theater, it's like, your understudies, they ask you if you want your understudies to even be there. They don't have to until it's staged. But your understudies, the director, the stage manager, and the intimacy coordinator, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Did you have your understudy going on Orient?
Go in for
like
me?
For intimacy, like watch.
Yes, they did watch. They never, I don't know if they did it full out or not. But also the last weekend of Orient Express, John had to leave, so we had the understudy go in for him. So we had to do a put-in rehearsal, and after the intimacy coordinator leaves, usually then there's like an intimacy captain, which was Stuart, the stage manager.
Right.
So he ran through it and had really extensive notes, and basically did the intimacy call again with us of like, we're going to start with cheek to cheek, and then we're going to start with this and do all of that.
40%, 60%.
Yeah, exactly. And just to make sure that Tanner and I were comfortable with each other. But yeah, I really hope that it doesn't regress intimacy coordinators, because I think they are really important.
I don't think that it will on specific sets. Like, directors who really appreciate the art and the craft of intimacy, I don't think will. Like Greta Gerwig or Luca Guadagnino, or I'm trying to think of like other directors like that would Sofia Coppola, like I just think those kinds of directors, notice I said women women are gonna definitely, I think I think that's a really scary thought, and one that I hope is not true. Yeah.
What is your first hot take?
My first hot take is the idea of, I wish that I had, like, you know when you're on TikTok and you're scrolling and then it uploads, like, or downloads, and you lose the page that you're on and you can't ever find it back, and it's the worst feeling in the world.
You like accidentally refresh.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was watching like a few months ago this POC.
You've been thinking about this.
I've been thinking about this. This POC AFAB, like femme presenting TikToker who has a podcast. And if anyone remembers this, please, I don't know how you would comment on a Spotify thing, but let us know. I don't know.
On our Instagram or our TikTok.
Please tag them.
At the Greek Chorus Pod.
But they were talking about this idea of a Thrive city. And that once they moved to New York, things started to fall into place. And I was like, yeah, I think slowly but surely things are falling into place as I move to LA. I'm happier, healthier. I'm getting stuff done. Like, I'm making a podcast.
Yeah.
But I think the idea of a Thrive city versus making a city a Thrive city and forcing it to be are very different.
Yeah.
Because I knew that, like, from 2018, I've known I was going to move to LA.
Yeah.
But I think some people who I know, who I love, are in New York right now.
And hate it.
And they're like, oh, I wish I could go to the opposite city. And I'm like, that's LA, babe. You're
then
talking
move.
Then move. And it's this idea of, like, I have to be somewhere because it's where I should be and I thrive.
Yeah.
If you're not happy, you're not in your Thrive city.
And it's also hard for actors because there's only so many cities that work. In America, it's
Chicago, Atlanta, New York, LA.
Yeah. And that's kind of it.
Like, I mean, you can do like cool regional stuff.
Yeah, totally. You can be a regional actor and be based somewhere else. And there's obviously good theater anywhere. But if you want to actually get work
consistently,
especially like background work, like people in New York
aren't working.
No. Like background work exists for
I have friends who are like, oh my gosh, I'm working so much. I'm working once a week.
Yeah. I'm like, girl.
I'm working at least twice, probably 3 to 4 times a week.
Yeah.
I mean, recently not.
Yeah.
Because no one, it's the fires, but.
Yeah. Everything's shut down right now.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's crazy that people that want to be in film and TV are choosing New York. Because I'm like.
Or even if they want to do theater, like they feel like they have to be in New York. And we love New York, but they have to be there because that's what everyone is saying.
Yeah. And I think that's the hard part about Tepper and like our program specifically is like they kind of like force feed you into New York. And it's like, that's not the only
city in America.
Yeah,
I wish that there was like a Chicago. And then, well, there is in LA.
There is in LA. They just don't really promote it. No. So, yeah, that is interesting. Like, Ian and I have talked about this because, you know, hopefully we'll get married one day.
Aww.
I don't know if I want to raise my kids in LA. And like a phrase that
back to New York?
Well, I will not be raising my kids in Westchester. That's for damn sure. It's just too expensive. A, and also 80% of the kids that come out there are brats.
The reason people move to Westchester is for the school system, and you can find a great school system not in Westchester.
Yeah. But I mean, I use this phrase a lot. If my stars align, that's like my dream scenario is like my stars align. And if my stars align and I get to a point in my career where I can feel like, okay, I'm just going to go and do 2 or 3 projects a year and I can move out of LA, we would move somewhere else in a heartbeat. I think we love the culture of LA, but I think I don't want to raise kids in a concrete city where you have to drive everywhere.
Sure.
Which obviously New York is even worse. I would never raise kids in New York either. But I think we want climate.
Sure.
We want like to rake our leaves and have our kids jump in piles.
I totally see you guys in like the Bay Area.
That like Ian loves San Francisco. Yeah. I haven't been since I was like 5, so I don't remember.
There.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
God, my stomach just
that or like Denver is really an interesting area.
You guys love to ski, so
yeah. Seattle is cool.
Yes.
Like I could see us as like Pacific Northwesters for sure.
My dream, if my stars align, is I'll have like a lake house in the PNW or something like that. That's a big like I want to travel there soon.
Yeah, us too. But
that was Twilight.
Good. My other hot take, which I made a TikTok about this the other day at East Providence, is
I'm the biggest fan on TikTok. I've told you this.
Thank you.
Of course.
Casting websites are too damn expensive.
So expensive.
Why does it cost $20 to put a 1-minute clip on Actors Access?
Whenever I get like a little email once a month that Apple says like, you want to see your credit card statement? I'm like, no, because I know.
No, I do not.
You just took $30 from me.
It's insane. It's like, and I guess like the thing that is so frustrating is that it then forces you to choose which ones are the best. Because there's certain things like you can have a free Backstage account or a free Casting Networks account.
Or a free Actors Access, but it's never free.
And you can't upload anything. You get like 1 free submission. And I'm like, on a normal day, I'm submitting at least 15 times. Like
I submitted 5 times before you even got here, and it's still the morning.
Yeah, like they're so expensive, and in a profession that if you're having to use these instead of going through an agent, you're not making enough money on these sets where it feels productive to have more than 2 accounts, really. I had a casting talent account, and then I was like, I haven't gotten anything off of this, and I've had it for 4 months. I'm getting rid of this because it's $20 and I need that for groceries. And rent. And like the ones like Casting Networks is $30 a month. So expensive.
I get so much like background on Casting Networks.
That's the thing, is I book the most off of them. And you're allowed to have like unlimited media on it, which is huge. Nice.
Which honestly kind of equals out with Actors Access.
Yeah. Because like Actors Access stuff, sometimes I'm like, I wish I could submit my stunt reel to this because it says you need stunt experience.
Babe, that's dinner.
Yeah. I'm like, I cannot afford to spend $20 uploading one video that I will use and upload to different submissions twice a week. Like, that's not worth it for me. Or I have 3 photos on there. I'm like, I wish I could have 10 to choose from, but it's just not plausible. It's so expensive and so frustrating.
My move-in gift was my parents were like, upload your media and we'll help you out with that. And I was like,
that's so nice.
Thanks. And now I have 2 videos.
I have 1 reel. Or like stuff that needs like singing. I'm like, I just have to redirect you to my website because I don't want to upload it here. But then if you see like
link to more materials.
Yeah, vocal reel on isaprovidence.com, like the odds of you actually going to that are very slim.
Actually, less slim than you think. I was looking at the analytics.
Really?
Yeah. There's actually like a pretty good click-through, not clickbait, click-through, I don't know.
Whatever
it's called, rate.
Ian would know.
Ian would know. That's, which honestly brings me to my hot take. Besides, I thought of this when everyone on TikTok who doesn't live in LA or has been to LA for 2 days was posting about like, it's all the celebrities like that are rich. And by the way, get over yourself. Losing a home is losing a home.
Yeah.
But
and also, there are normal people that lost their homes too.
Yes, absolutely. And it's the thing about that is, 1% of celebrities have the money to live in the Pacific Palisades. But other than that, even then, you don't make that much money as an actor. You have to be an A-lister to get a lot of money. Like, and even then. I have friends who've been guest stars who made, let's say, $10,000 for an episode. Sounds like a lot. But then if you have both an agent and a manager, 10% goes to the agent, 10% goes to the manager. 35% of it goes to American taxes. And God forbid if you shoot in Canada, that's another 22% of your money. You get some of it back, but even as background, you think, oh my God, I made $170 today. Guess what? No, you didn't. You actually made $135 because they took so much of it for taxes. And like right now as background actors, we aren't making enough to, like, a lot of our taxes are going to get returned to us. Which is good. But like, it's like, unless you are in a Marvel movie and making $10 million, you're not. Or like one of the friends who made $1 million per episode. Like, it's not actually as lucrative as it seems. And even then, it's not $1 million because guess what? It's probably $50,000 or $500,000 an episode. Only $50,000. That'd be a lot of taxes. I know. But yeah, it's just like, it seems so glitzy and glamorous because they go to these award shows and people remain famous because they've been in something. Like, but if you were in a show 10 years ago and you haven't acted since, you're making a podcast. You're making a podcast, or you're trying to stay afloat some other way, doing commercial campaigns or whatever it is. But it's like, you're not as rich as people think you are. Like, people think that all actors are like super rich. And that's just when we're true. Rich and famous, like we eat the rich now, but like give us a couple years. Talk to us in 2 years. When this podcast is like our side gig. But that is so frustrating. Or have you seen Spencer and Heidi sadly lost their home, and Spencer has been
so funny on TikTok. He's just been coping. And he posted this TikTok being like, before these fires, I was some D-list down in the dumps celebrity, and now that my house burnt down, I'm an A-list millionaire. He was like, wow, I really jumped in the ranks because my house burnt down. And it's like, it's so true. Like, these people, like, you're going to dog on them before and then dog on them after. It's like, you, like, pick and choose.
You can't win.
Yeah.
You know, you just have to be, like, content with your work, and it's ultimately, like, we all hopefully got into this not for the fame, but for the craft itself.
Yeah.
That's my hot take.
Yeah.
Do you want to get into goals?
Yeah, I have one more just like silly little story, which goes into my first goal.
Okay.
I have my top 5 goals. My number 1 goal is to get an agent.
Sure.
That will be really helpful.
Do you want an agent or a manager?
Yes.
Sure. I mean, ultimately, every actor wants both.
But we were talking about it when I was home, and my sweet little stepbrother, who's 13, it was so nice. And I was like, I just really want an agent. Like, that's really going to help me in my career, because there's a lot of jobs that I can't see and a lot of listings that just don't go out to the public, which I think people not in the industry don't realize. And he goes on his phone and searches up on Instagram and shows me the innovative agency Instagram page.
And was he like,
and he was like, here's an agency. And I was like,
only the biggest agency?
I wish it was that easy. And it was just so like nice that he was like, I'm gonna find one for you. And I was like, if you know anybody there, if you have any connections, let me know. But it was just so nice, because I was like, oh, he like looked something up, like wanting to help me. And I was like, I wish it was that easy. And I was like, I've emailed them, but they haven't responded. And he was like, that's so annoying. And I was like, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
But that is my number 1 goal.
That's absolutely achievable this year.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
I mean, that also is one of mine, is that my reps love me. I made a bingo card.
Yeah. Joe has like a full-on bingo card painted out.
That I made New Year's Eve. And I guess sort of putting 2 goals together is I want reps who are really excited about me and can get me into rooms, but also I would love is my mic still on? Yeah, it's still on, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank God. I would love to be signed with someone pre-pilot season, which is around February, March.
Yeah.
Not that pilot season really even exists anymore.
Yeah.
But that would be awesome. But mostly I would love just to have this year be full of really cool auditions with reps who are really excited to work with me. Yeah,
because without representation, you're kind of stuck with
no.
Who said that? You're kind of stuck with things that people have sent out to agents and couldn't find anyone, or people that don't feel like going through agents, which isn't the cream of the crop kind of stuff, which is annoying. And sometimes you have auditions where you submit for it and then you get the self-tape and you're like, do I really want to submit for this? And sometimes it's no. Sometimes.
Well, speaking of like a do I really want to, I submitted to this because out of spite, because I was really, really angry. But there was they wanted a New York girl with a Jewish vibe.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm a New Yorker, and
it blinked.
I'm a New Yorker, and I'm actually Jewish. How dare you say vibe? And then I got the script. It was all AAB. And I was like, I can't do this. It's not really also.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I saw it because they were.
It's a pilot, right?
Yep, for like a web series or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. My second goal is to book a speaking role.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, say it louder.
I want to learn a script. I want to learn a script so bad.
Yeah.
I want to say a line in front of the
We
camera.
still need to do our little like scene.
Oh yes, yes. But I want to book a speaking role
You
in
will.
some type of capacity. That'd be nice.
That'll totally happen.
Yeah. Do you want to keep going?
Yeah. I would love a Deadline article. Deadline and Variety, too, are these two little like news apps online. I mean, people know what Deadline is, but like, if you get cast for a show, you're often mentioned in Deadline, and I would love, or even like, oh, this like monologue competition is happening. I don't know how it'll happen, but I would love to
be mentioned.
Because that means the industry knows that I exist.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be great.
Sure. My number 3 is feel good about myself every day.
I had that one too.
It doesn't have to be the whole day. It can be just for a moment. Like, wow, I just made this really good meal. Or, wow, my skin is looking great today. But I want to get out of the habit of, oh, I'm not working today. I'm going to lay in bed literally the whole day. Because that makes me not feel good. So I want to feel good about myself every day.
I love that. That's
Thanks.
so cute. Oh my god. I love that. I had that as well. It's like love my body and like kind of really get into like not in like a hippy dippy way, but nothing wrong with that. But like kind of get into like holistic health and like how my body works and get more understanding of that.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I also, not to be corny at all, but like, I mean, you should have seen the last week of Issa and I just like gabbing about this podcast. Like, we put so much effort into it, and like, I'm really excited about it. And a goal is to have 1,000 listeners.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd be great.
I know people already that are like excited. Like my friend MK is like, I have such a long commute. I am so excited for this to come out. I was like, thank you, girl. And she's like not an actor at all. So I'm like, I'm excited that you're excited to listen to this.
My parents downloaded Spotify
just for this.
Just for this. Like they listen to Amazon Music, which guys, or what is it?
Not even Apple Music.
No, you know what? Amazon Pandora.
Music. Classic.
Boomers. But yeah, do you have another one? Yes,
my number 4 is see more live performances.
I love that.
Last year I really didn't see that many. And it doesn't have to be like theater. It can be concerts. It can be like people playing at a restaurant or a bar. Like it really doesn't have to be some like big event. But I just want to see more live performances. I feel like they're so genuine and I love watching them.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
Mine is make art every day.
That's nice.
I think it's really hard to. I mean, now that we're like in the adult world, it could be hard to like see your job as an actor, and you have your own agent for a while, and you are your business manager, and it's good, and when I'm productive, I feel like on top of the world, but then I lose the idea of why I'm doing this in the first place. And even if it's not like doing a monologue, like making a little craft or something. Just something to like have a creative outlet. Yeah.
I like that. My last of my top 5 goals is be on set for at least 75 days, which is...
That's doable.
Yeah, well, judging by how the start of the year is going, not very good. But it averages out to be like 1.3 days a week or something.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah. But it's mostly just like there are weeks where you're not on set and you're like, holy shit, I didn't make any money this week.
Yeah.
And that's not very good.
No.
And I just want to be more willing to like get a rush call or like be really actively like, okay, maybe this isn't my most wanted thing to do, but I'll get on set and I'll meet someone.
No, exactly. I totally agree. But yeah, I think that's a good way to manifest and I think sort of start to wrap up our first episode.
Yeah. Woohoo.
Woo, guys. Thank you.
This is so exciting. We didn't really introduce ourselves, but go over to TikTok.
Yeah.
At the Greek Chorus Pod, and you can see we'll do little intro videos there.
Yeah, I think that's really cute.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Follow us on both of our platforms, TikTok and Instagram. Follow us personally on Instagram and TikTok too, if TikTok even still exists. And yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you in the next episode.
Woohoo!
Woo!
Bye.
Bye.